Case featuring the craziest twists you have ever heard. Lauren Ashley Nicole Hugelmaier. A woman from North Carolina was discovered dead in her house in Friday morning, and according to police, her husband told them he believes he stabbed her in their bed after taking too much cold medicine. According to the report, 28 years old Matthew Phelps has been charged with murder in the death of his 29 years old wife, Lauren Hugelmaier Phelps. What exactly happened? Let's find out in this episode. Welcome to Unsolved Crimes, where we feature cold cases, twisted cases, and solved cases from around the world. If you like to watch similar contents, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications to watch our latest episodes. Phelps called 911 at around 1:10 a.m. and stated, "I had a dream, and then I turned on the lights and she's dead on the floor. Can't believe I did this," Phelps said. "I can't believe I did this." Says the terrifying 911 call made by a husband who had just discovered his wife dead on the bedroom floor with a bloodied knife next to the bed. When the husband connects this heinous act to cold medication, the murder mystery becomes much more complicated. You might think, is that a cold-blooded monster's voice or the voice of a poor spouse who drank a little too much cough medicine? North Carolina's capital city, Raleigh, is situated in the northeast central region of the state. One of the cities in the United States with the most rapid development is Raleigh. Raleigh is the ideal fusion of history and traditions, and it is surrounded by lovely oak trees. But a terrible crime in 2017 would rock the city to its very core. On September 1st, 2017, at around 1 in the morning, a call from 28 years old Matthew Phelps, who sounded a little sleepy, was received by a Raleigh Police Department 911 dispatcher. He said over the phone that he inadvertently killed Lauren, his wife, while he was dreaming. He then suddenly awakened up and discovered his wife on the floor, lying in a pool of blood. When the 911 dispatcher asked him to tell me exactly what happened, Phelps answered in a flat tone, "I think I killed my wife." The remainder of this statement appears to have been omitted from the 911 conversation for the victim's privacy. Phelps says to the dispatcher while exhaling hard, "I had a dream, and then I turned on the lights and she's dead on the floor. I have blood all over me and there's a bloody knife on the bed, and I think I did it. I can't believe this. I can't believe this." When asked what time he woke up to locate his wife, he replied to the dispatcher that he didn't know what time it was. When the dispatcher asks him if he's with the patient, he replies, "Yeah, I can see here," and then he appears to start crying. When the dispatcher asks him if the patient is awake and what makes him think she's dead, Phelps replies she's not breathing, "Oh my God," followed by sobs. Phelps responds, "I don't know. I'm too scared to get close to her." When the dispatcher asks if his wife is beyond saving, Phelps says to the dispatcher later in the 7-minute call, "I took more medicine than I should have. I took Coricidin, cough and cold, because I know it can make you feel good. So a lot of times I can't sleep at night. I took some." Just a few seconds after the 7-minute call, police reached Matthew's home on Patuxent Drive. Lauren, Matthew's 29 years old wife, was motionless as she lay on the ground. There was a blood-stained knife on the bed, and the cough medicine had been laid out on the bathroom counter in support of his assertion that he had taken cough medicine. Paramedics transported Lauren to the hospital despite the fact that she showed no signs of life there, where she was later declared dead. The detectives were uncertain as to whether the incident was a tragic accident or a premeditated homicide, but they took Matthew inside for more interrogation. Gruesome information was found during the autopsy of Lauren's corpse. She received 123 stab wounds in total, 44 of which were to her face. The remaining wounds were to her head, neck, and arms. No one could dispute who was to blame for Lauren's passing, but police couldn't decide whether to believe that she was killed accidentally or on purpose. Hundreds of photos from their happy marriage were posted on their social media pages. Matthew has never been in trouble with the law. They appeared to be a blissful pair who had it all from the outside. Since cough syrups can generate euphoric delusions and dissociative phenomena when taken in high doses, which frequently lead to people acting strangely, cough syrup explanation could not be immediately ruled out. Investigators started digging deeply into the couple's past to try to solve the murder mystery. In a close-knit and pious family, Lauren Ashley Nicole Hugelmaier was born on June 9, 1988 in Los Angeles County. Along with her two siblings, older sister Beth and younger sister Brianna, Lauren had a picture-perfect upbringing. Lauren has the reputation for being generally upbeat. She was reputed to be diligent, and Lauren was a devoted student who graduated from North Carolina's Swain County High School in 2007. She later earned a business administration and management degree from Appalachian State University in 2011. She worked as an auditor in Quintiles after completing her studies. She also established her own company to sell Scentsy goods. She had a strong enthusiasm for Scentsy, and her Facebook page was crammed with images and videos related to her side job, including the excursions she took alongside other Scentsy goods vendors. In addition, Lauren attended Hope Lutheran Church often. Likewise, she participated in the church's children's and youth ministries by teaching Sunday school. In her mid-20s, Lauren reconnected with Matthew Phelps, one of her former classmates from middle school. They lost contact. Since Matthew changed schools, Lauren's family finally relocated to Raleigh, North Carolina in high school. Matthew had not been as fortunate to grow up in a loving environment as Lauren had, because his parents neglected their obligations. Matthew did not have any close relationships with his family and was mostly raised by his grandparents. After his birth, his biological father's relationships with his parents ended, and he never saw him again. It was also uncommon for his mother to appear. Although his mother had several more husbands, none of Matthew's stepfathers ever developed a father-son relationship with him. The amount of love and care his grandparents gave him was not enough to fill the void in his heart despite their best efforts. It's possible that this dynamic is what gave him the motivation to start misbehaving at the young age. Whether or not his living circumstances had an impact on his mental health, Matthew began hanging out with the wrong crowd and developing a drug and alcohol abuse problem throughout his high school years. Chlorocidin, the medication that Matthew now claims to have taken before attacking his wife, was something that he and his friends were known to frequently use. Of course, high doses didn't result in a high that Matthew and his companions could take advantage of. As a result of this addiction starting to spin out of control, Matthew's grandparents were eventually forced to remove him from his public high school and enroll him in a private Christian academy in an effort to turn his life around. This was successful for Matthew, who began to earn better marks and eventually graduated. He later enrolled in Clear Creek Baptist Bible College in Pineville, Kentucky, where he appeared to have made great strides from his early high school years. He eventually earned his college degree in 2011. The discovery that they were acquainted was made by Matthew after he came across Lauren's images. Matthew finally messaged Lauren on Instagram after he hesitated for a while. Every Lauren photo that had been posted was liked by him. As things usually happen, the two started catching up, and soon the conversation turned into a series of lengthy late-night phone calls. Soon after, Lauren and Matthew both succumbed to love right away. Both of them started a long-distance relationship because Matthew was still residing in Kentucky at the time. The couple's connection started to develop quite quickly, despite the fact that they lived thousands of miles apart. Matthew quickly went out of his way to see Lauren and Raleigh. He eventually returned to North Carolina so he could be with her. Lauren was eager to introduce Matthew to everyone because they were so close. The majority of Lauren's family embraced Matthew with open arms and confidence in her decisions. He was viewed by them as a good-natured, compassionate man who sincerely cared about his daughter. Laurie, Lauren's mother, believed her daughter would be the one and only for him. Dale, however, Lauren's father, had doubts about the relationship. It might have simply been a father's instincts to be watchful of his daughter. However, Dale believed that Matthew was going too quickly and might be keeping something from Lauren. He was unsure of exactly what it was about Matthew that made him feel uneasy though. He chose to ignore his sentiments because his daughter appeared to be happy. Over the time, Matthew got accepted into the family. When everybody visited Lauren's parents' house for game night, Dale's suspicions were finally beginning to take shape when Matthew dropped a bombshell at the dinner table. He admitted to having a failed marriage before meeting Lauren, but he could not elaborate. Given that he was so young when he got divorced and that he kept it a secret for months, this prompted concerns about his character and intention into his new relationship. His body language also seemed shady to Lauren's family more so than his words. Nevertheless, Lauren genuinely loved him and didn't seem to be bothered by any of his behavior. So when they took their relationship to the next level, the family extended their support. In 2015, the couple announced their engagement. In order to express her disliking for Lauren, Matthew's mother, who the family regarded as troublesome, went as far as to purposely wear a white dress to the wedding. The celebration went off without a hitch though, and the pair was married in the following year. Since they were both major fans of the series, the couple decided to use a Star Wars motif in their wedding. As they began their new voyage together, Lauren and Matthew appeared to be enjoying themselves immensely. For Lauren, being married was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. She had her own home, a career she was passionate about, and a husband who always knew how to put a smile on her face. But just a few months into their union, Matthew started to reveal his true colors, and the idyllic marriage quickly started to devolve into an ugly reality. Matthew struggled to find work, and when he did, he frequently quit without giving much of a reason. Likewise, Lauren had to work numerous jobs to run the household while he idled away the majority of his time playing video games. This put a strain on their finances, according to Lauren's family, to whom she frequently confided. However, Lauren was also experiencing other financial difficulties. While Lauren concentrated on tightening their purse strings, Matthew was spending excessively on expensive electronics and gaming equipment. For his video gaming, he shelled over $1,200 on subscriptions to Xbox and iTunes. If Lauren ever refused to support his lavish lifestyle, he would even go as far as to steal money from her handbag. Before being married to Matthew, Lauren had about $10,000 in her bank account. However, it had only shrunk to $1,000 by the time of her death. In addition to Matthew's spending tendencies, there were other issues in the relationship. 6 months after the couple's wedding, Lauren went to visit Matthew's family, and throughout the visit, not only did his mother give Lauren the silent treatment, but she and Matthew also argued and made her feel like an outcast in their home. Because of Matthew's extravagant spending habits, which prohibited them from pursuing hobbies they wanted to do together, this was the usual cause of most of their disputes. The couple was trying to save money for a trip to Disney World, and as was previously noted, they were both huge Star Wars fans. What little money was left over, though, Matthew would squander on his own egotistical vices, preventing the couple from ever gaining ground. Lauren also believed Matthew was having a relationship with their neighbor outside of their marriage, who Matthew spends time with on a regular basis. There was a time when Lauren was on the phone with her older sister Beth and cooking dinner for Matthew after he got home from work. Matthew went outside to hang out with the neighbor and texted Lauren to tell her that they were having way too much fun and that she should have dinner alone. Matthew was very possessive of Lauren while spending a lot of time with her neighbor. A man at their church who Matthew believed was making moves towards Lauren caused numerous conflicts. Matthew mistrusted Lauren, resulting in an even greater gap between them. By telling how his ex-wife left him after meeting another man on a missionary trip, Matthew attempted to explain away his doubts. The fact that their relationship was deteriorating made it clear that his arguments would not help. Less than a year into their marriage, Lauren had frequently confided to close friends and family members about her wish to divorce her domineering husband. She has been keen about keeping the marriage together, nonetheless, due to her strong religious convictions, and only considered divorcing as a last resort. Lauren continued to portray their marriage as great on all social media platforms, despite the fact that they had many problems. She kept sharing pictures and videos of them, along with lovely messages declaring their love for one another. That, however, was a sharp contrast to what was actually taking place behind the closed doors. In an effort to save their marriage, Matthew ultimately made the decision to return to school and pursue a career as a priest for their church. Lauren wasn't really impressed with this attempt, though. In fact, she is sick to death of his rude and juvenile behavior. When finally ready to leave Matthew, Lauren had the opportunity to make the choice, but she would never get the chance to do so. Instead, her husband violently killed her in their marital bed. It did not take long to put the puzzle pieces together with all this background. They all agreed that the crime scene appeared to have been meticulously prepared. Aside from a little blood on his shoes and a few drops on his shirt, Matthew had very little blood on him. However, the knife and the cough syrup were both placed exactly in the right places. This did not fit the profile of someone who had stabbed someone 123 times. Matthew ultimately agreed to a plea agreement and admitted to first-degree murder in order to avoid the death punishment he had initially been charged with. The case was finally resolved on October 5, 2018, when Matthew was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Following his sentencing, Matthew read a letter of remorse to Lauren's family. And that ends today's episode. Please let us know what you think in the comment section below. And please like and share the video if you want to see more such true crime content. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video. Bye-bye.